very good afternoon to you and welcome. It's Wednesday, 16th October 2024. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this afternoon, pro-Fuwara lawmakers react to Amehule-led assembly declaring their seats vacant. CJN says it's unacceptable for judges not to deliver judgment in 1 quarter. Tragedy as tanker explosion in Jigawa State kills many. World Bank says further petrol price increase may reverse effects of subsidy removal. On the foreign scene, hoax threats spark panic for Indian Airlines. I am Constance Irele Mega. Let's go on a commercial break. And after this break, we'll bring you the details of the news. Do stay tuned. House of Assembly has described as an exercise in futility the declaration of their seats vacant by the Martin Amehule-led Assembly. They described it as a joke taken too far. On Tuesday, the Martin Amehule-led Rivers State House of Assembly declared the seats of the now Chief of Staff to Governor Siminalayi Fuwara, Edison Ehie, and 3 other lawmakers vacant, following their absence from sittings for 152 days. Well, the Speaker of the pro-Wike lawmakers, Martin Amehule, during their plenary, said Mr. Ehie did not properly write to inform the House of his new office. And as such, his seat has been declared vacant. Well, the House also held 3 separate votes to declare the seats of Victor Oko-Jumbo and 2 others vacant for being absent without notification or permission in violation of the 1999 Constitution. Now, it also said it will write to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to conduct elections to replace the now vacant seats within 90 days to provide representation for their people. In another development, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Kudirat Kekereekun, says Nigerians will lose confidence in the judiciary if judges continue to delay execution of cases before them. The CJN spoke in Abuja at the 3rd Annual National Judicial Council (NJC) Conference on Judges' Performance Evaluation. While she expressed concerns over the increase in the number of pending cases in courts and the low rate of disposition of suits among judges. In other news, the Nigerian police force says it will ensure that the upcoming governorship election in Ondo State is impartial. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetoku, gave the assurance on Tuesday at the force headquarters in a meeting convened with AIGs and CPs from all formations, zonal and state commands, where he said rigorous training sessions will be conducted for police personnel to prepare them for their duties with a focus on conflict resolution and maintaining public order during the elections. In In another development, some Nigerians have expressed different views following the introduction of a bill in the House of Representatives to allow Federal Road Safety Corps officers to bear arms. In an interview with our correspondents, they said this might escalate confrontations on the road rather than improve safety. Now, they believe the measure is unnecessary and could be used as a means to intimidate road users. Now, some others, however, are of the view that it will aid the protection of the officers themselves against confrontational drivers.
So they want to use it to like government something, you understand, to do another format, you understand?
The only fear I have there is that Nigerian uniform men, they are not professional. Understand? I'm telling you the gospel truth, they are not professional. They can shoot at any time.
It's not necessary for that. Why? Because many of them, they will use the gun, they can use it for another thing. They will think that they are using it to work, but they will use it in another ways.
It's okay that even they are putting their life at risk. Sometimes don't you know that sometimes most motorists hit them. If they put their life at risk. But not if those motorists that hit them down while stopping them. If they are with gun, they will be able to fire at the driver or fire at the tire.
Well, as you may know, a bill seeking to empower officers of the Federal Safety Commission to bear arms has passed its second reading. Away from that, an environmentalist, Mike Karikpo, has called on the government to train and integrate cart pushers into the waste management system rather than discouraging their services. Mr. Karikpo said this in an interview with our correspondent.
But there ought to be a process of networking with the cart pushers so that they do it properly. Either they are networking with them to train them so that they can also talk with the households where they pick waste, to separate their waste and bag it separately, plastics, food waste and all that, so that it's easy for you to do. There is a lot of business and business opportunities that could be gotten out of this waste process. There are opportunities to do this. I'm not sure why we are not thinking outside the box in Rivers State.
Well, his call comes as parts of Port Harcourt continue to experience flooding due to blocked drainage systems, often caused by indiscriminate dumping of waste. Well, some residents have blamed their inability to use government-approved waste receptacles on the inconvenient locations of these facilities. Now, speaking to our correspondents, they said they prefer using cart pushers because of their proximity and convenience.
The timing, you can't trash your debts from 6 p.m. above. At that time, most business owners will be tired to walk down to where the trash can is. Timing for me.
I can't carry my waste bin from there to Express Road. The distance is too long. If they can send those the truck down, carry waste bin to the street, like this Haruk Road. It's a main road, it's not close.
Where we are living is quite far from where we usually dispose those bins, and we can't possibly go that far, so we have to pay someone to carry it.
But the sole administrator of the River State Waste Management Agency, Riwama, Prince Ohia, emphasized that the agency is committed to discouraging the use of cart pushers.
The previous administration did that by banning car pushers. When this administration came on board, we didn't lift that ban. If you look very closely, the incessant and indiscriminate dumping of refuse in the state are all caused by car pushers. Because we have also tried to see how to manage them, they are becoming unmanageable. We do not intend to use any level of force at all. But all we try to do is to manage the situation by first engaging those that are engaging them. Because if those people that engage them stop patronizing them, then they cannot treat with it.
Mr. Ohia also blamed residents for contributing to the flooding problem by dumping wastes indiscriminately.
The citizens are the problem in this regard because there is no street at all that we don't have receptacles. We have receptacles in almost all the roads and all the streets. But the problem is that the citizens feel that the receptacles are too far away from them to go and dump their refuse. Ordinarily, in a developed environment, in the Western world, the polluter is the payer. For every waste that you generate, you pay for its disposal. But government here is paying for the disposing of your waste. All they are saying is come and dump it at a particular receptacle, and you are not considering the distance.
Still to come, tragedy as tanker explosion in Jigawa State kills many. Stay tuned.
I, Inyoha Onyema Dinkpa, on behalf of my family, heartily congratulate Honorable Israel Abosi on his well-deserved victory as the elected executive chairman of Ikwerre Local Government.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Thanks for staying with us. And now to the rest of the news. About 90 people have reportedly died after a petrol tanker exploded at Majiwa town, Taura local government area of Jigawa State this morning. The incident left another 50 severely injured. The explosion occurred when the driver of the tanker traveling from Kano to Nguru in Yobe State lost control near Khadija University, Majiya. Now, the police public relations officer of Jigawa State Command, DSP Lawan Adam, said the disaster was triggered by residents who had rushed to collect spilled petrol after the tanker overturned. Well, DSP Adam said that the authorities have started a mass burial for the victims this morning, with the entire community mourning the loss. The Congress of University Academics, CONUA, has expressed dissatisfaction over its exclusion from the list of university staff unions invited by the federal government to renegotiate the 2009 agreement with the unions. In a protest letter dated 14th October and signed by its national president, Niyi Sumonu, the union addressed its concerns to the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman. The letter said the exclusion could lead to industrial disharmony in the university system. And in business, the World Bank has warned that a further increase in the pump price of petrol may reverse the already dwindling effects of subsidy removal in Nigeria. Now, the warning is contained in the October edition of its Africa's Pulse report. It said economic growth in Nigeria is projected at 3.3% in 2024 and 3.6% in 2025 till 2026 as macroeconomic and fiscal reforms gradually start yielding results. Now, the report also said the Naira has been listed among the worst performing currencies in sub-Saharan Africa in 2024. And in entertainment, TikTok has announced the removal of over 2.1 million videos in Nigeria for violating its community guidelines during the second quarter of 2024. A community guidelines enforcement report said the action is part of the company's ongoing efforts to enhance content moderation and create a safer platform for users. It said the removed videos represent less than 1% of the total uploads in Nigeria during the reporting period. And in sports, former Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel has been appointed England manager from 1st January 2025. Now, the 51-year-old German, who has signed an 18-month contract, becomes the third non-British permanent manager of the men's team after Sven-Goran Eriksson and Fabio Capello. Now, Gareth Southgate resigned in July after England's defeat by Spain in the Euro 2024 final. We'll go on another commercial break and the news continues. Stay tuned. At least 10 Indian flights have received hoax bomb threats over the past 48 hours, leading to long delays and diversions. On Tuesday, Singapore's Air Force sent 2 fighter jets to escort an Air India Express plane away from populated areas following a bomb threat. Now, hours before that, an Air India plane from Delhi to Chicago had to land at a Canadian airport as a precautionary measure. Well, hoax bomb threats to airlines are not unusual in India, but it's not clear what triggered the sudden surge since Monday. Well, that's the news, but before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. On the news this afternoon, you heard that the pro-Fuwara lawmakers have reacted to the Amehule-led assembly declaring their seats vacant. The CJN says it is unacceptable for judges not to deliver a single judgment in one quarter. A tanker has exploded in Jigawa State, killing about 90 people this morning. The World Bank says further petrol price increase may reverse the effect of subsidy removal in Nigeria. And on the foreign scene, hoax bomb threats has sparked panic for Indian Airlines. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Constance Irele Mega. Thank you so much for listening.